Okay, so I am recording this for quite possibly the 5th time, I think. Adobe Premiere Rush sucks, and there is a built-in voiceover feature, but turns out it was pulling from the wrong microphone that I've never used. That's cool. Then I re-recorded it again, and it turns out when you set the microphone to the right thing, the audio quality is terrible. So I went down a rabbit hole, and I am now recording this on Audacity while watching the clip of me doing the fight caves. So there's a few things that I wanted to explain just while the gameplay is going on, most notably of which, what exactly is the fight caves? So the fight caves is a big PvM challenge in RuneScape, obviously. And the whole idea is that you fight 63 waves of increasing difficulty of enemies. Now it starts with really basic enemies, like this level 22 bat. If it hits you, it drains your prayer a little bit. Then after you fight one bat, the next wave there's 2 bats. And in the third wave, you get a new enemy. That new enemy is basically a kind of a grimer or a muck from Pokemon. And then it splits, I would say it's a muck, and then it splits into 2 grimers when you kill it. Very basic enemy, very easy to kill, it only attacks with melee. Again, very easy to kill, and then it essentially just progresses up like that. So once you kill the grimer or the muck wave, then you get that muck with 1 prayer bat, and then you get 2 mucks, and then you get the next enemy is a ranged enemy that attacks with range. And after the ranged enemy, you get a prayer bat, and then you get a prayer bat and a muck, and so on and so forth. There's, let's see, there's the bat, there's the muck, there's the ranger, there's the big melee guy, which I'm sure I've killed on screen at this point. I don't know how the audio is going to line up here. And then there is the big mage guys, which are pretty much in all of these rounds. It's the last enemy I'm killing in the middle of the screen. Now, the big thing is, especially with the mage guys, is if you pray, you do your protection prayers wrong, then you'll take a crap load of damage. So this fight caves experience is basically a test of your PvM skill of, I mean, depending on how fast you are with it, how good your gear is and everything, the fight caves can take up to an hour and a half. I think in the clip, we should be somewhere around 56 minutes. It's hard to say where the audio is going to line up, but it's somewhere around there. My previous attempt, I already have a fire cape on this account, which fire cape is the reward for completing this. I think my previous attempt was like an hour and a half, maybe an hour 45. I'm not 100% sure. But I've done it plenty of times on my main account. Anyways, the difficult thing here is that you can't pause between waves. Well, that's not true. You can't go and bank between waves. You can click log out and it'll say, okay, at the end of this wave you can log out so that you can stop and start and go back to it. But you can't reset or get new gear or let your health regen or anything like that. What you bring in is what you have. And at some point, I'm sure I'll open my inventory during this clip. And in that, you can see that I only have like 3 or 4 pieces of food, and then I just have a whole ton of prayer or super restore potions. And that's what I have to last me the entire time. Now, at some point during this, it starts to get a little dicey because the big test with this is, like, the early waves are basically, oh, it's the range enemy, pray range. Oh, it's the melee enemy, safe spot him on the wall. But as it goes on, you're fighting multiple enemies at once, say a ranger and a mage enemy. You have to pray the protect thing. You can either flick between the two, or you have to, I guess, use the map to your advantage, which I'm kind of doing here. You can kind of see that some enemies get stuck on the wall and they can't hit me or whatever. That's a big part of the fight caves, is learning how to manipulate the pathing of the enemies. So anyways, I've been rambling for a good while at this point, and I don't want to re-record another one of these, but I will leave it there for now. I'm probably going to fast forward through most of the fighting up until something happens, and then I'll record another clip to play over top of that with audio. Hopefully this syncs up. I don't know. Haven't tried it before. Re-recorded this quite a few times, but let me know in the comments how this is from the viewer end. And also let me know if there's any other questions that you have about content that I'm doing. Like I said in the previous video, this one is a little different than all the others. It's going to be a lot longer than all the others. So let me know what you think. And as always, be sure to like the video and subscribe. Alright, thanks. Alright, so I am recording a little voiceover for this section. This is where it gets really dicey. I think this is one of the closest calls I have while doing this. So you can see the melee guy, the big one, spawns right next to me, hits me, and then I'm getting hit by both the mage and the ranger, which are all the way at the top of the screen. So I have to run all the way back here, draw everybody into the safe spot, and then I run back out thinking that the major can't hit me here, but it turns out it can, which is why it smacks me for a 13 right there. Then I have to switch back to mage, and basically I have to kill this range enemy as fast as possible. And now I get lucky with my magic sword bow spec attack that it just kills it right away. But anytime you're tanking both enemies like that, it can get real dicey real quick. Now luckily it worked out, I was fine. I did have to use a little bit of food, but we got through it. Alright, recording another Audacity clip here. It seems to be going pretty well so far, so I'm pretty happy with how this is working. But this wave that we're looking at right here, wave 62, there's two majors, so we've progressed all the way through all the combinations of enemies. Now we have two of the second highest level enemies, these two mage enemies. Now you'll notice one of them is orange, that's very important. The orange one is an indicator of where Jad is going to spawn. So you can see in the top left it says next wave TzTok-Jad. That's what we're here for. That is the final boss. And looking at the time, I'm at 76 minutes in. So yeah, I think I'm a little ahead of my previous pace here. Yeah, this wave, not really that remarkable, but the important thing is that orange TzTok-Jad is where Jad is going to spawn, which means I want to be near that guy when it dies so that I can see Jad and I can start praying accordingly. I'm going to start another voiceover for the actual Jad fight, though. TzTok-Jad. So the important thing to keep in mind in this fight is that if he hits me off prayer at all, meaning like I'm praying the wrong thing, it'll almost certainly kill me. Now he has two different types of attacks. He has that ground pound that he just did, that's a range attack, that's the fast one. And then when he leans back and like rears up into the air like this, that is a mage attack. Now, I don't know exactly what time I need to switch my prayer, but kind of the sooner the better. It seems super simple, and for the first half of the fight, it is. I mean, very straightforward. It's basically just green or red, one or the other. Just react to what he's doing. Having sound on helps a lot for that, actually. But this is what makes it difficult. Those enemies that just spawned heal Jad. So I have to make sure to go around and tag each one while still obviously praying the correct stances. And as you can see here, I got distracted pinging the other guys and I did not pray in time and I failed the attempt. It's a bummer, but that's how it goes with Jad. Still a good fun experience. Got a lot of Slayer XP, so I can't complain.